Hi, I'm Mike from Michael's Motor Cars, located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I have what I think is a gorgeous car to show you today. So come on over and take a look at it. This car is a 1972 E-type Jaguar. It's a 2+2 Coupe. It is the V12. It also has a 4-speed manual transmission. It is showing today in its original color scheme. It has always been a white car with a biscuit interior. You'll see if you look at a lot of the cars that we sell that we love the history and the stories that go with the cars, and sometimes we actually surprise ourselves. I purchased this car from a fellow in North Carolina. He had reached out to us and I went down to see the car, liked the car immediately. It presents itself as a very, very well-maintained, lightly refreshed, but always maintained, very original car. As it turns out, as we went through the documentation, I've known this car for a long time, but did not realize it was the same car. This car, according to the British Heritage Certificate, was delivered new in June 1972. It landed in New York in the Jaguar distributor, but it was immediately shipped out to California. So it was a California car early in its life. It was in California until it was purchased locally in Lancaster by a local toy designer, Jack Holden, who bought the car in 1977 and brought it to Lancaster. The funny part for me is I knew this car back then because I knew Jack and I worked on his cars. So I would have known this car back in the late 70s and early 80s. Jack owned the car from 77 until 2007. And it was purchased with very low mileage, 35,000. And then he drove it and he used all his cars. And he had quite a collection of cars, very well maintained, very well taken care of. Jack sold the car in 2007 to a fellow who was in Downingtown, PA, who then moved to North Carolina. And that is who I purchased the car from. Interestingly, in that transition, the car was being worked on and serviced by Horsepower Enterprises, which is literally right behind my building here in Lancaster. They are a very nice restoration and mechanical shop. And then it went to Lippincott, who is a Jaguar specialist in Reading, all in the Lancaster area. Lippincott is very well known locally and nationally for doing very high quality work, particularly on Jaguars. Lippincott is the one who stripped the car down to bare metal, resprayed it in its original color, and has been doing significant work on the car through the years. So along with the car, and this is so important with old Jaguars, we have reams and reams of receipts and documented work that has been done to the car. And when I saw the car, I knew it was a good one. I just didn't remember the car. And then when we get all the documents which were sent to us later, it all reinforces what the car is. So it really today presents as a spectacular, very well preserved, great history, E-type V12 manual transmission coupe. So let's look at it. The car was never what I would say fully restored. Lippincott did a beautiful paintwork on the car. It presents beautifully today, but you will see all the suspension was gone over, all the bushings were done, the rear end was taken out and redone, the gas tank was replaced, all the usual Jaguar stuff has been done routinely on this car throughout its whole life. So some of the details. The chrome is beautiful. I would say that this chrome is all original. It has that deeper look of the British chrome. I think the headlight surrounds are all original. All of this trim is beautiful. It's straight. It's not damaged at all. If we open up the bonnet on the car, and when I realized that Lippincott is the one that did this work, along with Horsepower, it makes sense. Because in the bonnet underneath, the underneath looks gorgeous, nicely painted, nice finish. Like this air intake is painted the correct black crinkle. The heater box is painted black. The engine is completely original. It's the original V12 engine to this car. It is a numbers matching car. It still has the original Zenith Stromberg carburetors, all four. It does have upgraded electronic ignition, and I took a photograph of that. It's a crane cam ignition system. That's good because these cars were susceptible to having heat problems with their ignition systems. So that has been upgraded. They also, when they painted They did a very nice job. The firewall is painted. The frame rails were painted. It's all just beautiful. And there never was a color change on this car. It's always been white, just the way you see it. When you look at the A-arms, they're all nicely painted in the gray color. It's just all really well done. But this car is I would call it a high quality level driving car. It's always been driven. It has been used. So it is not a garage queen. It's not a concours car. It's a very original, very well maintained and loved and driven E-type. All the shut seams are nice. The door seams are really nice all along here. Now that I remember the car as being Jack Holden's car, never hit, never in an accident, just a nice old Jag. It's probably fairly obvious that I like Jaguars. And when I come across one like this, it's like an old friend. I've actually known this car a long time. The door cards are beautiful. There's no wear anywhere. The leather is all original in the car. It has been resprayed once in its life to the original color, but it's not torn anywhere. The cushioning is still nice. The dashboard is very nice. It's all original. There are a few very small splits in the top dash. You actually only see them if you really look carefully for them. You can't see it when you're in the car because they're on the top, and they're very small, but they are present. All the gauges and instrumentation are working. I go over that in a driving video. The clock does not work. I never guarantee clocks, but all the other instrumentation is working. Car drives beautifully. You'll see in our test drive, very smooth, very strong, very powerful. The transmission shifts beautifully. Currently, the air conditioning system is not working. It is all there. It's all intact. We will take a look at that. If we do get it running, we'll note it in the auction. But I want to say right now, it's not functioning. We have the original sticker right here in the correct position. And the tags are also in the correct positions on the car. Going along the back, all this trim is beautiful. The chrome is beautiful. The wire wheels are in great shape. We did put a set of brand new tires on the car. These were just done. Coming along the back, same thing. I believe it to be all original chrome. I mean, it just has that nice look. The previous owner we purchased it from did do one change. He put on just the 4 straight exhaust pipes. I think it's a very cool look on this car. It is a stainless steel exhaust system on the car. And then, of course, we have the coupe door, which opens up. This is all original to the car. Very nice condition. You'll see in some of the photographs, there's a little bit of, the headliner is a little loose in some places. It's not hanging down, but you can just see it's probably original to the car. That's really the only significant cosmetic thing on the car at all. Coming along the right side of the car, same thing. Your lenses and everything are beautiful, all in really good shape. Looking at the car, there really are no significant marks on it. There are no door dings. There are no real scratches anywhere. The paintwork has held up beautifully that Terry Lippincott did. Very nice work. Right side door, same thing. The chrome is just beautiful. It has that depth to it that the original British chrome has. And there you can see the dash from this side. Just a really cool car. So if you're looking for a largely original, very well maintained, tons of service history. We have receipts going back to when Jack Holden owned the car, right after it was a very lightly used car in 1977. So it's rare to get one of these cars like this that's just been a well-maintained, nice car. And as I mentioned today, it runs and drives beautifully. I would not hesitate to drive this car anywhere. It runs cool. It has good driving manners, and it's just a lovely car. So what we know is 2 very long-term owners. It had actually been in Lancaster most of its life. So I've known this car for quite a while. And it's nice to see an old friend like this come back. And here it is again. So hopefully we can find a new home for it. Please ask us any questions you may have. We'll be happy to answer them. If you'd like any other photos or documentation, we'll provide all of that. We also welcome any inspections to come and see this car, drive it, whatever. It's a significant car, and it would be a significant addition to anybody's garage. Thanks for taking the time and watching our video.